Showing my age. I remember Ijtema being in places like a school hall, and this is National Ijtema I'm talking about. Yeah, school hall in Hounslow. This is years ago.
Allahu Akbar.
Right, boys, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Describe the Ijtema atmosphere.
The atmosphere of the Ijtema is like it's pretty chill. Like you're with your friends and stuff, and there's a sense of community there with a lot of with all the people there, and so you're with your friends. You're pretty much hanging out, and you're participating in the events and stuff.
Okay.
So it's quite calm.
It's almost like going to town with your friends, but you're not in town.
Okay, but it's like your own town, isn't
Yeah,
it? We kind of
basically.
make your own town.
Yeah. How has your guys' Ijtema experience changed over the years?
Ooh, over the years. So I remember. Okay, so this is bad now. So because I'm old now, I'm showing my age. I remember Ijtema being in places like a school hall, and this is National Ijtema I'm talking about. Yeah, school hall in Hounslow. This is years ago. Then we moved to Islamabad, and then for many years it was there, and up until 2015. So once we moved to Islamabad, that's when you really felt the difference, because it was outdoor then. You know, we had marquees. There were no fixed buildings. We had marquees. We had to deal with the British weather. You know, some of our events would be in the winter or like, you know, September, these kind of times, because Jalsa is always in the summer. You know, you've been going to Ijtema, I mean, like, since you guys were different, which is not too long ago. So you remember, what was it changed for you?
So I started off going to Islamabad, and it felt like, well, now it feels way more. Well, it definitely feels better, because obviously there's the Jamaat has grown considerably since then, and more facilities and it's been much better.
I'll tell you about facilities. There was a time when now you see there's Atfal Al-Amdiya has got its own place. It's got its own team working towards it. It's got its own marquees. You get your own food, etc., etc. All these kind of things were introduced a few years ago. There was a time when all the Atfal in the country would be the sole responsibility of the one Mu'tamim Atfal, and he would be looking after all these kids in one marquee, and it was too difficult to do. So then the Jamaat actually, and Sadr Sahib of the time, who was currently Amir Sahib, introduced Atfal rallies, and they were almost like a National Ijtema. Atfal is still part of the Ijtema, but when the Atfal rallies came in, it was something specific for Atfal. But again, now the experience has changed even more. Now that the facilities and the strength of Khuddam Al-Amdiya has really, it's increased so much, where they can deal with 8,000 people in over 3 days, can cook for them, clean for them, provide them proper bedding, provide all these kind of things. That, you know, you live like what you guys said a minute ago. You're living in a town or a city for 3 days. So there's amazing features there now that really weren't there when we were at Atfal and we were going to Khuddam. There's so many different things to say. There's exhibitions, if I remember rightly. There's just review of religions. There's the Architects Association. There'll be Humanity First, right? Yeah. That will exhibit there, and we're going to be working with Humanity First this year. We're going to be having our exhibition there. We're going to be, funnily enough, selling these T-shirts and everything. Not that I'm plugging it, but I am. But you know, every kind of involvement that the Jamaat has, you know, the Khuddam try their best to package everything and give it to everyone. So there's something for everyone. That was always the thing I remember when we were working on them. We need to provide something for everyone, so that everyone's got. You might not be great at sports, you might not be great at academics, but you know, there's different talks there. Exactly.
I have to give it to all the workers. They do so much work for
such a good job as
for all the other Khuddam and Atfal there. It's so much effort put into it just to make it a pleasant experience for you. Do you have any special memories or stories related to Ijtema? I think you do.
Yeah. I think, you know what, we do as a family. So I'm going to give you a history lesson here again. This must be, and I need to get this right, I think it's 1984. He's going to kill me if I get this wrong. But this is when the Ijtemas used to be in Hounslow. Your grandfather was Mu'tamim Atfal at the time. So it was his responsibility to run the Atfal side of the Ijtema. My memory, I remember going to the Ijtema in the morning, and then on the way back we didn't go home. and it was like me and your Dajan and your grandfather, and we ended up going to Kingston Hospital because your your Chachi was born on that day.
Oh.
So he is an Ijtema baby.
Okay.
So Chachi was born on the day
That's why
of
he
the
loves it so
Ijtema.
much.
Yeah, and he's been Ijtema. He used to be the little special footballer in Ijtema for so long. But that thing you'll never forget that.
Do you remember the first time you won a prize?
I do actually. It was during a regional Ijtema in Bedford. I was so surprised I even got a prize. I was like, what? And then I felt quite nervous having to go up all the way to the stage and collecting it.
Okay.
They read your name out loud.
Yeah.
It's just nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Sometimes they even get your name wrong. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
Okay.
But the first time I ever done it, it was I felt quite proud actually that I actually did something and I achieved an award. I think it was I think it was for speech. I think I got a second place for that.
Okay.
It's the most common one we do.
Yeah, that was quite nerve-wracking, but also quite an important moment.
But do you understand? Look, if you think about it, speech competitions, and some would say, well, why would you do speech competition? All right, Tilawat, you understand, you got to learn how to read the Holy Quran or whatever. But speech competitions, it teaches you public speaking, doesn't it? It gives you confidence to speak in front of people, and that's why, the second Khalifa put these kind of things into Ijtema, so that the Khuddam, and from a young age, from the Far Khuddam, you be able to speak to people in public about Islam as well, because that's what we're here for at the end of the day. So it's training. Everything we do is training. That gearing up to Ijtema, the Ijtema itself, it's all training.
Yeah, that's good.
So, any prizes you've had?
All right. Do you know what? This is my. You're right, because your grandfather was a Mu'tamad Fal. I don't think I used to win anything. I don't think you let me. But the thing is that one of your other uncles, Maqbul Tatu, he used to win everything, and I always used to get like second after him. I couldn't win anything. But your Dajan, he used to win everything, like the first place in Tilawat and all those kind of stuff. But yeah.
What academic event do you enjoy taking part in the most?
Have you guys ever done Extempore?
Extempore, yes.
Extempore's fun.
You
just
they give you a topic on the spot,
wow.
and you quickly have to think about what you're going to say. It's quite.
They'll give you like 1 or 2 minutes to write it down. Then like by the time you've written like a few words, it's like, all right, come on, now for your speech.
The topics range from like.
It can be anything.
Yeah, from Islamic stuff to general knowledge.
Okay.
So more about like your football team that you support, or like something to do with technology, or.
Okay.
Yeah.
But most people complain that they don't have enough time because they only get out a few words.
Yeah. But
Extemple
you
is definitely my
see where the training comes in. It's about on the spot thinking as well.
It's good. It's good.
Because at any time you can be challenged about what your beliefs and whatever anytime,
Exactly.
right? And then at that time, hang on a minute, I can't speak in front of the. It's a good one for you. Do you have a favourite item at the bazaar?
Of course.
Definitely.
Okay. Are there anything other than bazaar that you go to anywhere else? Do you think it's
We
the
do
most?
do.
It
Just
is
hang
the
around
best
at the
place.
bazaar all the time,
It's the
really?
best place.
Okay. So go on, what's your favourite thing at the bazaar then?
Shazan.
Shazan.
You can't have an Ijtema and like an Ahmadiyya function without Shazan.
It's
What?
literally
It's
the
like-
lifeblood.
Yeah,
of-
definitely.
Shazan,
Yeah.
mango juice.
Yes.
Are you guys serious?
I think most
actually are,
of
aren't you? Oh my
most
God.
of the Fal and Khuddam agree with us.
Really?
Yeah.
Shazan is the hands down winner.
Yeah, definitely.
Shazan.
Can't believe that.
Undoubtedly.
Can't believe that.
What do you think are the benefits of attending Ijtema?
There's quite a lot in there, quite a few benefits. I'd say one of them would be the sense of community you have with all the other Atfal or Khuddam in your age group and stuff, and with your friends. You get to make quite a few friends there as well, meet new people. It's a nice place to be when you're hanging about, really. You get to the academics might be a bit frightening to do, but once you've done them, you feel quite relaxed.
Just get that relieved look on your face.
Yeah.
Great. It's just like just going around with your friends, having a good time while also increasing your spiritual knowledge as well.
Okay.
like doing Tilawat and Nazm. Like some people do the Tilawat that they haven't learned before, so they get to learn it and then they do it. And then it also gives them more confidence speaking in front of a crowd and all.
Right, yeah.
So it does both of those things at the same time, which is really good.
You also get really close to Hazur as well. So he's, I think in the previous years, he's also done his big Ijtema dinner. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because
yes,
you're like running it.
I remember it well. Yes. I'm still sweating from it, but yeah.
Yeah, you get really close to Hazur. You get to eat even. You get to have food with him. It feels really good. He's there on the main table. You can see the drones in the sky sometimes.
When they're filming. And
yeah,
stuff
when
like
they're filming.
The shots are really good, by the way.
Yeah, they thank the shot department for that. Right?
Yeah.
The food is really nice.
Food is good, isn't it?
Yeah,
food is really nice.
You're really close to Hazur as well, so you feel safe almost around him.
Wow. Yeah, I'll tell you a story about
blessed.
safety. If you're going to go back in time a little bit, right? Back in the day, you're talking about the dinner that used to be, but back in the day when the Ijtemas used to be at Islamabad, and Hazur's instruction, we used to hold barbecues. Barbecues. Every region used to host a barbecue.
I do remember
and
that.
Khalifatul Masih, this is Khalifatul Masih Rabi's time when he initiated these kind of things, yeah? To bring the Khudam to close, a sense of really bonding, and to make the Ijtema something special. So on the Saturday night, the big feature was the barbecue. And it wasn't just the food that the kebabs you're eating, and that the big feature was Hazrat Sahib used to come around to every single region. He used to taste every single one. And and that's when you felt your heart was full. Forget about your stomach, but Hazur came to see you. He ate the food. Yeah, he ate. He kind of it's as if he's tried you, so you feel your heart would be so fulfilled. But we were always at the mercy of the weather as well.
That is
and
true.
one year, we didn't find out until the day until Hazur told us. In fact, Hazur told us the next day in the session that all around Islamabad and in London and Ijtema, it rained profusely. But it was as if there was a protective circle or something round Islamabad, round the Ijtema Gah and the village and stuff that we created, that it didn't rain. But if you just stepped outside, it was raining. And Hazur mentioned this to us, and that is one of the blessings of Khilafat that you see with your own eyes. Yeah, it was like that. The way he was telling us, it was like that. It was like that's the impression that we got. But that's the blessings of Khilafat, that is showing that he is Allah Ta'ala's man. And even when these dinners and stuff that you're talking about, I remember having to organize that, the first one that we did. And it was a monumental task. There was no way we were going to see 5,000 people and sit on a sit-down meal and be able to do it. And I remember just writing to Hazur. Yeah, I remember writing to Hazur regularly, requesting him for his prayers and stuff, because it was a real test. And other people from the Jamaat wanted came and see, can these guys pull this off? And it was only through Hazur's prayers and a lot of really dedicated work by Khudam and a little bit of planning on our side. We do what we do. The rest, Allah Ta'ala's blessings kick in. And he pulled me up and he asked me, has everyone eaten? And I remember going around to all the tables beforehand and having a good check, and I saw everyone, by the grace of Allah, that year, I think it's 2014, that everyone had made sure they got their food, and he asked me, is everyone eaten? That was his concern, but he wanted to be with us. Just like what you said, you got to eat with him, you got to be with him, and it was a big blessing, because the barbecues were getting too big to handle now. You couldn't do it on a scale like that.
Yeah.
So we took the responsibilities back off the regions and said, look, we'll do this dinner under Dr. Aziz Hafiz's time. So that was one way you've seen it, and the benefits are manifold. Anything near Khilafat, and the benefits are always going to be there. So one of the purposes of Ijtema is to keep us close to Khilafat. And here, being Khudam al-Atfal in the United Kingdom, he lives with us.